Told my husband I missed the days when men were men, so he left without a fight. Now he's opening a bakery with his new girlfriend, our daughter's helping him decorate cupcakes, and I'm sitting alone in the house we built, wondering how I became the one everyone walked away from. I am 42 years old, sitting alone in the house we built together while my husband and daughter are off living their best lives without me. All because I had the guts to say what everyone's thinking: men these days just aren't what they used to be. I met Derek when we were both 18, fresh out of high school with our whole lives ahead of us. He was my first real boyfriend, my first everything. I'd been around the block a few times, but for him, I was at his first and only. Maybe that should have been my first clue. What kind of man doesn't explore his options? But he was tall, good-looking, and had potential. So I locked it down. Fast forward 24 years, and we've built what I thought was a perfect life: good jobs, a nice house in the suburbs, and our daughter Maddie, who just turned 18 and is heading to college soon. From the outside, we were that couple everyone envied. But behind closed doors, that's where the cracks were showing. Don't get me wrong, Derek isn't some total loser. He's tall, works out regularly, can fix things around the house, and knows his way around a car engine. He used to box and still does those cage fighting classes as a hobby. On paper, he checks most of the manly boxes. But the little things started adding up over the years, and honestly, I couldn't just ignore them anymore. For starters, the man bakes. Not just the occasional birthday cake, I'm talking sourdough bread from scratch, fancy French pastries, the works. He's got more baking equipment than I do, and he actually uses those stupid little measuring spoons for everything. Who has time for that? And the cooking, making homemade pasta on a Tuesday night like we're on some Food Network show. It's excessive, and it's not what real men spend their time doing. Then there's the drinking thing. He just doesn't ever. Not a beer while watching the game. Not a whiskey after a long day at work. Nothing. Meanwhile, I'm having my well-deserved glass of wine, and he's sitting there with sparkling water like some kind of health guru. It's awkward when we're out with friends and he's the only guy at the table not drinking. People notice these things. But the music, that's what really gets under my skin. My husband, this 6'2" former boxer, listens to Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande and that weird girl, Charlie something, willingly. He says it started because of Maddie playing it in the car, but I've caught him listening to Lover Alone in his home office. It's not right. And he knows all the words too. Between us, it's like living with two teenage girls sometimes. Oh, and his car. This big tough guy drives a tiny little VW hatchback to work when he has a perfectly good truck and motorcycle in the garage. Says it's practical and good on gas. You should see him folding himself into that clown car every morning. It's embarrassing. Real men drive real cars, not those European sardine cans. I started making little comments here and there, just gentle nudges. Really, don't you want something stronger than that seltzer, babe? Or maybe take the truck today? That little car makes you look like you're driving your daughter's hand-me-down. Just trying to help him see how others might perceive him. He used to laugh it off, but lately, he's been getting all sensitive about it. Things really came to a head last month when we were out with friends at this bar downtown. Some drunk guy in his 20s bumped into Derek and spilled his drink. Instead of standing up for himself, my husband just smiled, helped the guy steady himself, and said, "No problem, man. Hope you get home safe." What? This drunk punk was half his size. My friends' husbands were right there watching. I could see the look they exchanged, that silent dude, control your woman thing men do. Except in this case it was more like, dude, does your wife know you're a total doormat? I waited until we got home, but I couldn't hold it in anymore. What was that about? I asked him. That guy was a total jerk, and you just let him walk all over you. He was drunk and half my size, Derek said, like that explained everything. What did you want me to do? Knock him out and go to jail? For what? My ego? I told him. Right then, I said, I miss the days when men were men, when they stood up for themselves and their women. When they didn't let people disrespect them. When they drove proper cars and listened to normal music and didn't spend their weekends making cupcakes with sprinkles on top. A real man would change, I told him. A real man would care how his wife feels. That's when something changed in his eyes. Something I'd never seen before in 24 years of marriage. He got real quiet, the kind of quiet that feels dangerous, you know? Then he just said, "I'm done," and walked upstairs to the guest room. I thought he just needed to cool off. I had no idea everything was about to fall apart. Over the next few weeks, the comments just kept slipping out. I couldn't help it. It was like once I started noticing all these things, I couldn't stop seeing them. The way he'd giggle with Maddie over stupid TikTok videos, how he'd rather stream some baking championship show than watch sports, the little shopping bags from bath stores with lotions and fancy soaps. It's like living with a teenage girl, I said once when he and Maddie were dancing around the kitchen to that cruel summer song for the millionth time. Mom, stop, Maddie snapped at me. Dad's just having fun. Why do you have to ruin everything? That hurt. Coming from my own daughter. When did she become his defender? I carried her for 9 months, went through 19 hours of labor, raised her while working full-time, and now she was taking his side, all because I wanted her father to act like a grown man. I didn't realize how bad things had gotten until I came home from work early one afternoon and found Derek packing a suitcase. "What are you doing?" I asked, my stomach dropping. I'm leaving, he said, not even looking up. I found an apartment. I can't do this anymore. Brenda, be married. Be a father. Be a man. The words just flew out of my mouth. He finally looked at me then, and I barely recognized him. Not because he looked different, but because I'd never seen that expression on his face before. It wasn't anger or sadness. It was just done. I'm a man, he said quietly. I've always been a man. I box. I fix cars. I provide for this family. I've never cheated, never laid a hand on you, never missed a mortgage payment. But that's not enough for you, is it? Because I also bake. I listen to pop music. I avoid pointless fights. I drive an efficient car. These things don't make me less of a man. They make me a complete person. And I'm done apologizing for it. So you're just walking out on your family? That's your solution? I was screaming now, panic rising in my chest. Maddie's 18. She knows where to find me. And you? He paused.